Today on Forbes, Billionaire rented Trump mansion as federal tax evasion case heated up. In September 2020, a month before the Department of Justice revealed one of the biggest tax evasion cases in U.S. history, the phone rang at the Palm Beach Police Department. The caller was Hope Smith, the wife of private equity billionaire Robert Smith. Mrs. Smith had taken inventory of her jewelry collection ahead of a planned move and found that a 3.63-carat diamond ring, worth $1.1 million, was missing from a safe. In early August, Forbes obtained the police report through a public records request. The report stated, quote, "Smith advised she does not recall where or when it was lost. However, it was last seen in her Palm Beach residence in January or February of 2020. The police report identified the residence as 1125 South Ocean Boulevard, directly next door to President Trump's winter White House, Mar-a-Lago. The Smiths did not own 1125 South Ocean Boulevard, but rented it, starting around the fall of 2019. Their landlord, who purchased the 10,500 square foot property a year earlier, was Donald Trump. Smith, worth about $5 billion at the time, could well afford the estimated $65,000 per month tab. The question is why the private equity tycoon, who has spent millions buying and renovating homes in locales including Colorado, California, and France, rented that particular property from that particular person. According to Smith's representative, the investor was eager to get to Palm Beach before his kids had their first day of school, and a previous rental had fallen through because of black mold, leading an agent to move quickly to secure Trump's home. The situation, however, led to an unusual dynamic, with the president renting to a man who had hidden more than $200 million from the government and was embroiled in a historic tax evasion investigation. In a statement, Smith's spokesperson said, quote, "The Smiths quickly rented a short-term property that Robert did not visit in advance, and no one knew it was an investment property of Eric Trump." The property, however, belongs to Donald Trump, not Eric, who manages his dad's business. The Smiths spokesperson added, quote, "The family occupied the property for about 6 months until March 11, 2020, when the COVID pandemic began. They then went to Colorado and homeschooled their children for 2 years." The Smiths may have only, quote, "occupied" the property for 6 months, but it seems likely they rented for closer to 12 months, given that the police report, filed in September 2020, said Hope Smith realized she was missing her ring, quote, "prior to moving." With a possible indictment looming over his head, Smith had vowed during a May 2019 commencement speech that he would wipe out the student debt of the entire graduating class at Morehouse College. That donation caught the eye of Ivanka Trump, who forged a relationship with Smith that continued into the pandemic, when they spoke weekly, according to the Washington Post. Smith also chatted with Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, at times daily, as they worked to ensure COVID relief funds went to underserved communities. Smith also cooperated with investigators as they turned their sights to his billionaire business partner, a software entrepreneur named Robert Brockman, who allegedly hid about $2 billion from tax authorities. A month after his wife contacted the police, Smith signed a non-prosecution agreement with the Justice Department, admitting to tax evasion and agreeing to pay $139 million, but avoiding criminal charges. In an October 15, 2020 press release, U.S. Attorney David Anderson noted, quote, "Smith committed serious crimes, but he also agreed to cooperate. Smith's agreement to cooperate has put him on a path away from indictment." Smith still had plenty of money left over. He purchased 2 homes in North Palm Beach that exact same day for $48 million. If prosecutors planned to use Smith to convict his partner, they never got what they wanted. Brockman pleaded not guilty to 39 counts that included tax evasion, wire fraud, money laundering, conspiracy, and destruction of evidence. About 6 months before his trial, he died at the age of 81. In the end, neither billionaire went to jail for one of the biggest tax evasion schemes in American history. For full coverage, check out Dan Alexander's piece on forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.